let's talk about Eve for a bit. So this is a new type of video that, I just decided to sit down, just talk right in the microphone about my thoughts and feelings for this game with no real direction. I would just go where my brain tells me to, pretty much. If you guys enjoy this, then let me know that in the comments. But I thought that we could talk about, Iveco's bad situation, the good situation, how it's been these 3 years. We can talk a little bit about the player-driven CSM that is being created, what it is, and what I feel about it, why I signed up, what went wrong. I will also go a little bit into what I think is needed for the game, what I would like to change, also like which parts is more important than others. I would not go through how to fix it, even though many of my videos already have solutions, because I always feel like, everyone can complain, but if you complain and you have a solution, that's a lot better than just complaining. So more than likely, I always have a solution in mind when I bring up something that I don't agree with in this game or not, or in other games, of course. But yeah, we talk about that, I guess, and maybe the future of the game in terms of updates. We might talk about why we play the game. I don't know. I think we just start here. I've been in this game for 3 years. I started in the early beta, I think. I'm not sure if it was open or closed beta. But I know that I quit EVE Online the first day EVE Echoes opened. Because I felt, I did everything in EVE Online. I was bored at it. I wanted a fresh new start, as many of us wanted. And sure, it was a fresh start. I mean, Plex were at 8k. We did our anomalies and we did our encounters in Quersers and Algoses. It was kind of a good time. But ISK was hard to come by. And even if you got something very good, then, no one else had money. So even if you sold it, you couldn't get anything. So that was a hard start. And some people say the game is hard today. And yeah, sure, it is hard today, but it's hard in a different way. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was getting into when I started this game. And not many people do that. Like not many people know what this game is. So anyway, time passed and I had great plans. But yeah, I had everything set up from the beta. So I had papers on scripts on where I had to find my PI, what kind of ships I was going to build, what I was going to sell. And I had everything, planned out pretty much. Kind of turned out it didn't go that well. Mainly because they started handing out ships for free if you lost it, because the servers were bad in the beginning and people lost ships here and there and they cried about it, so you could just ticket for a new ship. Anyway, after that we got the insurance, which I was very much against, because I thought they're handing out ships now because it's a tough game. And in the future, they will just stop handing out games. They will say, okay, trial period is over. If you lose now, you lose your ships. But yeah, that didn't happen either. I was not making any content, but I was watching people like Captain Benzi and Giga Forta, and I was watching Baked, I think, and a couple of others. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while, so. But I kind of understood that they did not, they did not get a response from NetEase about changing the game and doing something about the issues that we had. And back then, I didn't really mind. I did PvP. I kind of love PvP, so I flew around, did a ton of PvP. I was in Pantheon from the beginning, and when that collapsed, I went to Void, where I am today, but I don't really, you know, attend to CTAs. I pretty much do my own thing, and I'm just happy that I can, you know, be in some places and meet some great guys. But most of my time goes to my YouTube now. So I have no idea. Like when people say there's a big war now, like I have no idea where that is. Unless I find them when I do PvP, of course, and I fly into big fleets, which I, you know, accidentally do now and then. But you know, I have no idea where people live. Like if someone say north, I know what that is. You know, I know the map. You know, like the back of my hand. But I don't know where people live. I don't know if you say you're a SHH. I have to think a lot before I know where that is. So really, I'm not a great member per se, but I do love by nature to analyze things. You know, when stuff doesn't work, I don't stop thinking about it until, you know, I have a solution for it. And with a game like Eve Echoes, I just want with all my heart to make it work for everyone that is playing. And by that I mean from the gamer from day one to the gamer 3 years later. I want everyone to have a clear goal, what they want to do. I don't necessarily want them to be guided, but I do want them to find what they want to do and be able to do it. Because Eve is, for me, more than just a game. Eve is, I've said this before, I think, but Eve is it's like a second life. I don't necessarily log in to play the game. It's a little bit hard to explain, but when I was younger and I played World of Warcraft and I went to school, late years in school I have to add, but I just wanted to, you know, run back home, take the bike or whatever, I can't remember. But I wanted to go home as quick as I could just to log in and not actually do anything. I just wanted to be online, and then I could like go and get me something to eat, maybe read a book, but I just needed to be online. It's very hard to explain, and I have the same feeling for EVE Online and EVE Echoes. Now I don't play EVE Online, so I don't have it anymore because EVE Echoes took that place. But ever since I started EVE Online 2004, I wanted to log in just to be logged in. And I think more people feel this way. I might be wrong, but EVE is more than just a game. We have met so many great players in here, and many of them have left. You know, people leave. But yeah, friends are bringing us back, and I'm just happy that I found so many good people in a game that's not normal. Like some people say it's hard, but it's not hard game-wise, really. It's more like a real life where there's issues that we don't approve. We get updates, we get changes that we don't like, just like in real life. We get changes that we don't like in real life, and we have to deal with it. We cannot just quit. So even though I try all that I can, and with probably half of my videos that I've made, I'm talking about these issues, and I have solutions just to fix this game so that it can be even more into something that we really want to have. Something that can pull more people into the game, that can kind of make NetEase ease up on the paying scheme that they have today, and maybe take the money from somewhere else, you know, some other parts of this game that isn't actually affecting the gameplay. And now, more than before, I hear that, you know, everyone should just quit. So I kind of feel alone. You know, I always say a quitter always quit, and a winner never quits. Because you don't have to win to be a winner. Because to me, a winner is someone who put their heart and soul into something and do the best they can until the bitter end. if that is the case, because people remember you by it. People remember the struggle, and people forget those who quit. So I think quitting is never a solution. And it doesn't matter how many times Nettie says no or doesn't even answer. I will always be here saying what they need to do. Ask them to listen to me, because there is no other game for me. I mean, I do play other games, but there is no other space game for me. This is it. So while we're talking about this, we can talk about the player-driven CSM that is being created right now. And let me explain what it is. First off, the CSM stands for the Council of Stellar Management. And it's a group of a number of people, normally like 10, I think, that is democratically elected by players of the game to advise and assist developers into developing the game. Now, you could argue that this is pretty much what a content creator is, but we have seen that content creators doesn't really get the support that they need, so they cannot actually do anything. But I'm no senior content creator. I'm not even a content creator for EVE Echoes. I've been asked 3 times and I've said no every time. I don't want to be biased to anything. I do what I do because I like it, not because I'm getting paid. Now, whether this works or not, I mean, whether they even listen to a CSM, a petition from the majority of the player base, or a paper with everyone's names on it that says, you know, fix this, it has to be done. If you ask some people, then, you know, this is probably never gonna happen. But if you ask me, then I think it doesn't matter how small the chances are. You should always try, no matter what. And as I say, you should never give up. Because if you're giving up, you will never get what you want. But if you keep fighting, there's always a chance. And I'm always for that chance. So I signed up. We have, I think, over 50 people that signed up now. So it makes me happy to see that so many people wanted to be a part of it. I will link the Discord in the description so that if you want to go in and maybe vote for someone that you feel can be a representative of what you feel is important in this game, so then you can do it. You can go in and vote for anyone. I'm not saying vote for me. I'm just making that clear. There's tons of great people in there. Because I've already been accused for cheating, which I took pretty hard because I have no reason to cheat. And when I tried to explain, then I pretty much got humiliated. And sure, everything has to be fair, but it's sometimes very hard when you're talking to deaf ears. I did not sign up to be the number one. I did not sign up because I want to be seen. I thought this was a great idea. And I think it would be a great asset for the CSM because I'm not even biased to myself. I always think that the game comes first and my personal likes come second. Because what I personally want to see in the game might not be everyone else's interest in the game. It might not make the game better just because I want it. But I've always been like this. So I did nominate myself on their Discord. And I think I was 1 day late. As I say, I thought it was a great idea. So I posted this on my channel, like on my own Discord, telling people to go over there and vote and be a part of it. Now, what I did write was, you can go over and you can vote for me, for example, or something. I can't remember. I did remove it. But I did type that. But I did not know that was a rule. I mean, it was a pretty honest mistake. Anyway, I got accused of, you know, not having a downvote or something. And I tried to explain it. But, you know, it's no big deal. Like, if they don't want me, then they don't want me. I will still try to make the game a better place for everyone. But yeah, I felt really mistreated. And I would assume it's because I didn't expect it, you know. I had trolls pretty much on a daily basis on YouTube. I just didn't think that, you know, I was gonna, you know, have to deal with that here. So it kind of caught me off guard. And I tried to explain myself, and that just, I don't know, that the other side felt it was just weird. So, I'm in a bad situation right now. Like, I don't really know what I feel about it. I don't know. I might think a little bit too much of it. I just wanted to get that off my heart. Like, I didn't do it to like cheat, man. I wanted to be a part of it. That was pretty much it. And I wanted more people to be to know about it, to be a part and being able to help. Yeah. This is what happens when I don't have scripts. I just sit and rant and I talk about, emotions and my deepest fears. Yeah. I have to edit a lot of stuff, man. Whatever I'm saving, if that is bad, you have no idea what I've edited away. So anyway, if you want to know more about this CSM, then check out Echoes of New Eden podcast with Rambo and Taylor Rick. They did a great job about talking about it, so check it out. I will also link that in the description, but it's like a 2.5 hour podcast. They're amazing, by the way. Go check it out. Every Monday they have these shows that comes out and they talk greatly about stuff in Eve Echoes, unscripted, a lot of laughs, great guys. Go and check that out. The game needs a big change, and this is why the CSM is created. And I just thought, we talk a little bit about what needs to be fixed, like in what order, like what's more important than other things, maybe, I don't know. But this is what I feel, this is what I think, and shit, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is actually hard for me to record, like talking off the top of my head. There's a lot of things that needs to be fixed, and we all have our things that we want to see changed. But if I would break down it generally, for me, it's to fix the in-game content so that it suits all the players in the game, for all categories. Players 1 year in, and end game players, if you would call it that, T10, T10 high sec, T10 low sec pirates, industry, so that we have stuff to do, so that we can niche ourselves in one particular way that fancies that specific individual. I think that is actually the number one thing that we need in this game right now. It's more important than any changes in the game regards to the industry, insurance, and other stuff like that. This is what we need. We need better encounters. We need, for example, storylines. We need epic arc. They did add it, but I'm talking about a little bit more epic arc. Encounters that can spawn other encounters, stuff that changes the environments around, and also maybe a bounty system for pirates, maybe low sec, null sec, special spawn rats, basically stuff that can surprise you as you play the game, so that it's not the same monotonous, the same tedious stuff that you do every day with no variation. Pretty much that is what I think we need the most right now. Now, close to that, I think it's the industry that needs a helping hand. And the industry is tied with insurance, and we could argue that the flooded market with minerals and items is an issue too, but I'm very sure that would also be fixed with insurance. So even though industry is the one that we need to focus on, I know that fixing the insurance will be a great step into the industry. And not only a solution for the lack of industry that we have, but also a solution for more fun for the industry and the way that we handle the industry today. Now, I don't only call out issues, I also have solutions for them already laid out to NetEase, but they are also spread out in all of my 2 years of videos. So let me know, guys, if you want me to make a similar video like this when I talk about specific topics and solutions. Just let me know in the comments, because those are the biggest issues that we have in the game today. Stuff to do, industry, tied with insurance. Now there's smaller stuff that wouldn't be enough, but it would actually bring us a big smile. And that is, stuff like station skins, station hangars, naming ships, new avatars, stuff like that. And there's tons more that I can't, off the top of my head just throw out. But this is something that I think we should get as soon as the more important matters have been taken care of. So what do I think about the future of EVE Echoes? Well, this is a question I get a lot, surprisingly. Like, are you gonna quit? What do you think about it? And I think the game is good. I know how that sounds, but I've been pointing out all the issues so many times. I think and everyone else is doing it too, especially now. So I think it's not more than right that someone tries to see the positive stuff in it. It's just that we are expecting something from NetEase. And what I think is worst is that we all see that it's declining more and more. Even though it's a great game, there's some stuff here that you can do that is amazing. But I think we're all just afraid that, that is gonna get lost too. Now I know that the first feeling for something is always, or not always, but often very inaccurate. And I have learned my lesson to not try to be too harsh in the beginning. Because I thought nanocores were a bad idea in the beginning. But they turned out, one of the best things in the game. I mean, you can customize your ships. So in a way, they're a little bit like Tech 3 cruisers. You can make them a little bit special, like your own type of things. You can also switch colors, and it's a great thing. I think that's one of the greatest things that EVE Echoes have compared to EVE Online. So I was very wrong, Then we got the implants a little bit later, a couple of years later or whatever. But we got the implants and I hated it so much. And I still hate it today. It's the worst thing that we ever got. And I will never love them. And now we get the AI. In the beginning, I felt, I don't know about this, man. Then I read more about it and I was like, yeah, maybe it's not that bad. And now I've tried it for 3 days, really made my homework, and I kind of like it, not only because it's a great way for some people that have limited time to be able to do the farming when they don't watch the phone. So when they do have their less time to play the game, they can just do whatever they want. They can have some fun instead of go home and having 2 hours and just farming because they want to play and do something fun a couple of days later. It's not bad. It's not game breaking for me. And when people ping me and say that this is the best shit ever, and when others, who stopped playing the game years ago, when they come back now because of this is what we waited for. Like, this is what we waited for. This is what we needed. Now I can finally have time to play the game. It's not as bad as I thought. Now, sure, I will still say this is gonna have big problems with minerals in the future. It's gonna have problem with the pricing. But I don't know what NetEase have in mind in terms of more ISK sinks, more ships, other things that will be expensive that we need this money for. And hopefully they have these solutions in mind. Otherwise, we will have big issues with this. But for now, this is not the end of the road, in my opinion. This is not a bad thing. And personally, I like the, legendary cores. I'm a nanocore fan, I have my nanocore competitions for a reason. So I approve this, but everyone else hate it. And maybe I'm wrong. Now the AI core is, it's in alpha. So you can kind of tell when you use it. Sometimes it's just weird, but most of the time, it works. And I had a great fun for 3 days, coming up with a fitting that counter all the issues that the AI have. I changed my income from 4, maybe 5 million in each tick to now over 10 million. So like 11, I think 11.2 something million each tick without the encounter mission monies. So it is together around 50 million an hour. Almost AFK. I have to say almost AFK because you have to keep an eye on this. You have to do some small things just to make it work and not take too long. But yeah, I had a good time doing that. Now tell me guys, if you like this sitting here talking, kind of like a podcast with myself, if you like this, then let me know. It's important to let me know because it's hard for me just to sit here and try to talk. But I was thinking that maybe we should go through some of my comments because some comments are quite good actually. So I might actually do this more, talking about your comments, because then you will be mentioned on YouTube and that is pretty cool. Let's go with the first one. This is Link199. He says, great job, you got a new sub. And I tell him, you got a new fan, thank you. And then he says, I only have one problem with the video, bro. You forgot to mention the new nanocore's greatest ability. It greatly reduces the chances and enhances ability to dodge wife's aggro. And I said, well said. It's been calm ever since I got it. Another one I got was the Aeon Flux 74. It should watch you play and learn from you. That would be a true AI approach. And I can't agree more. That would be awesome. Have a ship that, recognizes how you play the game. Dude, I would not have a single ship left. Then we got Joseph Hassett 9818. Honestly, free nanocores from the Concord Pass, but cheaper. Yeah, that's the great part with this right now. Like if you start the game now and you do the Concord Pass, you will get some great nanocores. Well, thinking about it, I have to go into my other character and buy some keys. Aniso 5642. First time commenting on your videos. Definitely liked it. Pay this man. And I answered, I didn't know what I missed. Thank you. Gale 94. Stop playing Eve Echoes and start playing Eve Online. Plain and simple. Then we got You Mad Bro I'm a Troll 7918. You are the one that will be forgotten in this trash game. Not the ones leaving to a better game. I don't know, if he's a troll or not, but I will not argue that. I might be the one that's being forgotten. Shemyasa 8934. I hope that's correctly pronounced. Eve Echoes actually does a number of things better than Eve Online. I spent about a week in Eve Online and I wasn't impressed. It looked great and that's about it. Yeah, sure, it's not the same game. We got Diggs Ray 103. I got my core to gold AI, been doing this thing for about 4 hours. As of since, I actually love it. I can do my 50-50 Clarion visit every day while sleeping and PvP when I actually get time for my lunch. And this is what I'm talking about, like some people getting back to the game now. And that is not a bad thing. Now Viral Reality Reloaded says, laugh my ass off, yeah Sheev. Facts, G. That's a funny one. We got Seraph 3125. Banger, good shit, dude. And thank you again. Then we got Doma 64. He says, yes, there's no other game like Eve Echoes, and there's no other CC like Achieved. And for the game, I think it's time we just let go and descend into madness. Last one to quit wins. Yeah. We got Matthew Reeve 788. I'm in a small corp. We just started to build our first capital ship. To me, there is so much content to be had. I get that people are on top and waiting for a meaningful change, but some content means more time to get there. But on the other hand, I just want the DIR reflection back or 1 versus 1 challenge mode, something somewhat rewarding, even if it's bragging rights. I agree so much. I really want the DIR back. And then we got N7 Spiele, I think, 819. Okay, when you drop your album, that was fire. And of course, when I got enough songs. We got Yubi, my man. I think I think this is the best video I have ever watched. Totally worth it. Go ahead and enjoy the video and remember to like this video because you are cool. And I am cool, but I'm not cooler than you. And then we got Alma Jensen 405. I'm glad you could come up with a way that this update might not completely ruin the game, but with the latest announcement of now also being able to upgrade purple nanocores further, it's just power creeps after power creep. That's just not Eve. But best case scenario here I fear is that the game will just keep limping along with even more inflation, busting the market even further. And yeah, this is what might happen. It just might happen. Then we got phone user 3569, pay to win auto grind game, flush. I assuming it's the phone he's flushing. But then again, what's the difference between really just paying the AUR and getting the ISK right away, or paying something that will give you ISK slower? You know, if you're a whale, you want the money now, right? Am I right, whales? I guess I'm right. Then we got DAC 829. Sorry, I'm no longer subbing. So you see, it's a hard life being a YouTuber. You can't please everyone even if you want to. Artwick Eve Echoes 1410. 2023 Eve Echoes is dead. Devs just smoking crack and playing with their small dicks, man. Yeah. Well, that was all. I hope you guys felt that this was some kind of fun, you know, a little bit fun. I have no idea myself because I will sit down and I will try to edit this. I've been talking for 2 hours. I hope this is not longer than 30 minutes when I'm done. But anyway, you guys take care and I will still be playing Eve Echoes for those who want to know. And I see you guys again.